My name's Neil Latham. We're talking about People360 today. People360 is an HR database which manages employee personal information. It has role information. There's also a performance management module which is connected to goal tracking, and we also have people demographic data as well. Let's take a look at the design. In the center, we have the employee table, which is the main table. On the right-hand side, you'll see that we have this strategy table, objectives, goals, and then we have a bridge table connecting goals to the employee table. So the idea here is that we have a company strategy which has more than one objective associated to it. An objective has more than one goal, and a goal can have more than one employee. Also, an employee obviously can have more than one goal, and that's why we have this bridge table here. So you can see here that we're connecting strategies, objectives, and goals all the way through to our employees. And then on the left-hand side, you can see that we have company, business unit, business function, and department connecting back to our employees. So what we have here is a company has more than one business unit associated with it. A business unit has more than one function associated with a single business unit, and a business function ultimately has more than one department. And of course, a department can contain multiple employees. So this is how we're connecting the organizational hierarchy back to the employee. And a role can have more than one employee associated with it. And for simplicity, what we're saying is an employee can only have one role associated with an employee at a given time. So that's the design. It was designed in MySQL. We have 10 tables and 71 fields. With that, let's jump over and take a look at the database running, and we'll run some queries against it. Okay, so let's go ahead and run our first query. I'm going to pull it over here from my notepad. So here we're joining employee, department, and business function, and we're asking the question, how many employees do we have with the count function here? How many employees do we have in product development? Let's go ahead and run that. You can see here our query returns 51 employees in product development. Very handy query that can be used for many scenarios just like that, which would be very common in an HR database. Let's go ahead and ask the database the next question, which is how many employees met or exceeded expectations? So let me just point this out. Here's that employee goal bridge table. We're joining on the goal table and the employee table. We have a where clause, which is we're saying whether the goal actual is greater than the goal target. That is classified as meeting or exceeding expectations. Let's run it. We have 100 employees that have met or exceeded expectations, and you can see the columns here: goal target, goal actual, goal rating. Let's run a query to find out how many remote versus non-remote employees we have by business unit. So here's our query. So our main table is the employee table, joining on department, business function, and business unit, and grouped by business unit. So the results are as follows. By business unit, we can see how many folks are remote versus non-remote. The majority of folks here are non-remote in this company. Okay, so we're going to create a stored procedure that will change the employment status of an employee from active to inactive when they terminate from the company. Here's the stored procedure. Let's run it. Okay, that's run successfully. We happen to know that Ethan Lopez has decided to leave the company. So let's go ahead and update his employee record. So there we have Ethan updated. Now we're going to go ahead and call that procedure to make sure that the employment status changes. Okay, looks like that happened successfully. Let's go ahead and check all of the Ethans that we have to see that that record has changed. And we know that his employee ID is 102, and there we see it. His employment status has changed to inactive. I hope you enjoyed the People360 demonstration. My name is Neil Latham. I'm going to continue to develop People360, and I hope to commercialize it into a product at some point down the road. Thank you very much for your time.